I don't think a lot of people realize, but we're a lot closer to this reality than a lot of people know.
Some type of movement.
Damn right, as we are just a few moments away from Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the Attorney General of this country, Pam Bondi, from doing a press conference about all the incredible fraud, waste, and abuse conducted by the federal government against you. As in this particular video, I wanted to talk about some of the crazy, some of the insane things that are probably going to be coming out of this larger kind of press conference, as already we've gotten major bombshell news about where your money was going to. It goes to overthrowing governments, sponsoring terrorists, and doing human chimera hybrid projects. You've heard that correctly. And there's even crazier stuff that we're just getting into right now and finding out from all the incredible work that Donald Trump is able to do. As already, an estimated 75,000 federal workers have accepted Donald Trump's buyout offer. As soon, a lot of people are predicting it will be 100,000 government members that no longer will be a part of the larger swamp that Donald Trump is actually getting rid of. As there's a lot of career politicians like Maxine Waters who, of course, can't quit. They're elected representatives, but they're freaking out because she is even publicly saying, yeah, the government has a lot of information on us, and I think they're going to be releasing it soon. As, of course, they're like that Ralph Simpson's meme in the back of the bus saying, I think I'm in danger.
People of this country are being violated because all of our privacy is being taken up by Elon Musk.
You lying hoe bag. Don't you, what privacy violations? It's always the most hyperbolic. They're violating your privacy. The government has been doing that for far too gosh damn long, and they didn't give a damn about it. These are the same people that, without even thinking about it, reauthorized the Patriot Act, the spying on you, the NSA surveillance programs. Bureaucrats have literally been looking at people's private photos. I confronted the head of the CIA many years ago, before even Edward Snowden came out, and I said, why are your agents caught doing you know what, family-friendly show here, to people's private photos that they send to each other? That was an actual legitimate news story, sourced, factually evidence-based, many, many years ago, and the government didn't care about your privacy. Now you shut up.
And Trump, and we don't know what all they have on us. We don't know what all they have on us.
They have the receipts, honey. As right now, we're living in such an amazing time. Richard Grenell was on social media saying that he was just briefed by the CFO of the Kennedy Center, talking about how their financial situation was a mess and they were going into the debt reserves. Mike Cernovich just literally went on the USAID website, to see where a lot of our funding was going. And guess what? Tens of millions of dollars was going to the Kennedy Center. And guess what? Where did it go? As now, finally, we are going to be getting some legitimate answers. As DOGE subcommittee just learned that since 2003, the United States has sent out $2.7 trillion in improper statements. What does that even mean? Who is receiving the money? Shouldn't we get that money back? And the people who orchestrated over this, the people who enriched themselves from all of this, they should be indebted right now to pay the American taxpayer back. If not, face severe criminal charges. As James O'Keefe and OMG Media just released another video showing specifically how a lot of the government members in our kind of ruling bureaucratic swamp don't even work. And if they do, now they're openly working against defying Elon Musk and DOGE. Here's another clip that, again, was pretty eye-opening and should be shocking everyone. The corporate media, crickets, silence. They talk about the dangers to, of course, the constitutional crisis that we face. Get out of here. The Constitution was stripped away with you cheering for it. Get out of here. You hated free speech. You hate the Constitution. And now you're telling me, oh, the constitutional crisis. Shut up. And I'm sick of these people and their lying, emotional, hyperbolic hypocrisy that finally is being called out from all different sectors here. Shouts out to James O'Keefe for just releasing this video.
There are people that I know who've been working for the government for like 30 years, and they don't do much.
Then why are we paying them? Why are my taxes so damn high? Why are we in debt? Why don't we have anything to show for it as a country with some of the highest tax rates ever? And where's the money going to? People not doing their job. And again, the bigger revelations, as I said specifically, will be from the Pentagon. The Pentagon and their black budgets and the CIA funding and what they have been doing, specifically with unethical, godlike, weird, crazy, insane scientific experiments. My goodness. Well, before getting into all that, we wanted to remind people, get a shirt on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. The shirt that I'm wearing right now, I was just wearing out at like one of the Miami little full moon, like drum circle things. And everyone was like, yeah, that's a good shirt. As we just released another great shirt that highlights all the work, all the amazing work that DOGE does. And of course, it reads Employee of the Year, Mr. Big Balls, which you could get exclusively on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. This is a great way to build community. We also have a great RFK Jr. one here as well, with him looking at you in a concerned fashion, saying, don't eat that. Really great to wear at the local food court with all the seed oils that, of course, are divvied out there, that hopefully soon will be stopped under RFK Jr.'s reign as head of the HHS. And again, a lot of stuff that truly is meant to make people think, make people laugh, and also make you understand who's on your side and who is not. This one is also very popular, and it reads, I used to believe in aliens before the government told me to. As that's pretty much my larger consensus here from all of this, personally myself. But more importantly, when you get a shirt, you do your own form of lazy activism. You're able to, of course, go out there and spread political ideas in places that you wouldn't naturally be able to reach. A lot of us are in these echo chambers online. A lot of us are in these kind of algorithm holes where we only see what the algorithm wants us to see. And even though social media is becoming a little bit more kind of freer, a little bit more honest, a little bit less censorious as it was previously beforehand, our YouTube channel's going amazing right now. But still, being able to reach people one-on-one, face-to-face, eye-to-eye, that's something that's amazing that people shouldn't take for granted. And when you have those interpersonal kind of interactions or relationships, they're pretty golden, and they're even more golden with shirts from thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Get them right now and support this independent media broadcast. Of course, let's talk about the man-pig human chimeras and larger weird experiments, as the new head of the Pentagon and the Department of Defense just came out, Pete Hegseth, and said, you know what? We welcome DOGE and Elon at the Pentagon. This is big. This is huge, because this is the head of this whole entire huge government agency that is just opening up the door. Previously, there was members of USAID that were literally physically trying to block access to DOGE. Okay, there's a lot of intel agencies, a lot of bureaucrats, a lot of government officials that are covering up their tracks right now as we speak. They are doing everything they can in their power to make sure that DOGE doesn't get access, doesn't see what they're doing, because when we do, the American taxpayer is going to be pissed off. It is hilarious to see all these Democrats and liberals literally argue for money laundering. They're saying, no, we need to money launder. Money laundering is the bedrock of our democracy. Yeah, okay. Here's what Pete Hegseth had to say that I thought was brilliant and important, and does signal these larger disclosures, which are going to be big.
I've been in touch with Elon Musk, who's a great patriot, interested in advancing the America First agenda, knows that President Trump got 77 million votes and a mandate from the American people, and part of that is bringing actual business-like efficiency to government, hence what DOGE is doing. We've been talking to them, in partnership with them, and as I said on social media, we welcome DOGE to the Pentagon, and I hope to welcome Elon to the Pentagon very soon, and his team, working in collaboration with us. There are waste, redundancies, and head counts in headquarters that need to be addressed. There's just no doubt. Look at a lot of the climate programs.
The government spends tens of thousands of dollars on soap dispensers. Not just a bunch of them, just like one of them. All right. The amount of waste, the amount of abuse, especially done by places during theaters of conflict like Iraq, what we saw Halliburton get away with, absolutely freaking criminal. As the Pentagon budget, the black hole, the accounting that they can't account for is in the tune of $35 trillion, as the DOGE team is going to have an extremely difficult time now just trying to even find out what in the hell was going on here. $35 trillion just missing, no accountability, no accounting for. This is top tier criminal elements of the government, of the Pentagon, that clearly weren't doing the best job they could for the American taxpayer. We were getting bamboozled. We were getting robbed. We were getting screwed over. Now, what are we going to be finding out? What did we buy for that $35 trillion? Well, USAID also, according to the reports here, bankrolled al-Qaeda terrorists and their college tuition. This is, of course, Anwar al-Awlaki. This guy's a crazy story, by the way. This guy was connected with the intel agencies, connected with the federal government, and then kind of allegedly flipped and became a radical jihadi. I think he knew where a lot of the skeletons were buried, and that's why they kind of extrajudiciously assassinated him, his son, and his daughter. The story there is just absolutely incredulous, to say the least here. But why were our tax dollars financing this? As, of course, when you look into the Pentagon, you're going to see a lot of this. You're going to see a lot of radical Wahhabist jihadis, a lot of people that have violated human rights, violated people's sovereignty, did awful, horrible things that we can't even fathom, we can't even imagine. And you're going to see the U.S. government paying for that. And then you're going to see the American taxpayer being like, why are we financing some of the worst people on the face of this earth? Why are we subsidizing them? Why are we giving them college tuition? Why are we paying for all of their weapons, their communications, and their abilities to, of course, wage war on Western civilization? How is this possible? As Mike Benz specifically highlights, the larger agenda of a lot of these nefarious NGOs and these groups, all tied into the CIA and the USAID. They've been operating in Ukraine ever since 2006, leading to the larger kind of formation of this Maidan revolution that happened in 2014. That led us to the first shots being fired during this larger proxy war between the East and the West, which now Donald Trump is promising to unwind, as he just got off the phone with Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin, saying that the phone calls were very successful and that they are on their way towards total peace in the region, which enough people cannot wait for. The numbers are going to come out. It's going to be like 2 million people. About 2 million people have died. Way more than in the Middle East. And, it's just, they just don't give a damn about Slavic people. That's just the situation that we're living in. Anyway, I digress here. But clearly, what you're also going to be finding out is the United States acting in a very kind of criminal enterprise, mafioso way, just like we saw with The Economic Hitman. A great book. If you haven't read that book, read it. But you're going to see that book, and you're going to understand that program that was never stopped, that they were never held accountable for, that was illegal, that was undermining democracies and rule of law all over the world. Yeah, we just gave that steroids, and we now use the internet in order to foment larger leftist political revolutions in order to support communists, the Chinese, and all the larger elements against Western actual democracies and republics. You're going to see the Biden administration, the Obama administration, all specifically work to undermine America's footing on the world stage and to support leftist communistic governments like the one in Brazil, that the government truly was calling the shots on. You're going to see the U.S. government. You're going to see the octopus of this kind of woke liberal world order call the shots, arrest political leaders that were populist and were on the right. That's why Bolsonaro was arrested. That's why in Poland, as documented by Mike Benz, there are larger calls from publications and media organizations tied to USAID that specifically call for the arrest of Polish leadership that is populist, that is right-wing. as overwhelmingly these larger programs, these larger institutions highlight and support leftist, communistic, woke causes. They did it in Brazil. They did it in Ukraine. They did it in Poland. And guess what? They were doing it all over the world. This liberal world order was an order that was inflated, that was artificially placed in there, that was forced on top of every single person that had no other option but to acquiesce to it because of this larger octopus of control that was making sure that we were forced to live under this tyrannical, leftoid, woke, insane doctrine. As other things that we're going to be finding out is these kind of inhuman experiments that essentially gave places like the Pentagon, individuals like Dr. Fauci, godlike authority to do cruel and unusual things, including chimeras, including using human beings and then, just putting them on animal parts, taking animal genetics, splicing it into human genetics, and making embryos and just growing them and just developing them. Literal freaking, the things in South Park, the ManBearPig that you saw in South Park, the person that I voted for when it was Mitt Romney versus Obama, when it was John McCain versus Obama, I wrote in ManBearPig when I was voting. That ManBearPig, it's an exaggeration, but that's the type of experiments that we have been paying for. There's a lot of cruel experiments, evil experiments, torturous experiments, ungodly, insane. I mean, they took baby parts from babies that weren't born, that were prematurely taken out, and the parts were just, just sewn into lab animals. Let's just see what happens when we start to create animal-human hybrids, chimeras, and other genetic mutations, trying to create some kind of ungodly creature that was not intended to live on this planet. We saw this exchange. We saw this literally just explained to us during recent congressional hearings. This is just freaking terrifying. And guess what? This is just the beginning of more terrifying developments that are going to shock the utter core, because the average American is like, I just want to make, why are we creating ManBearPig chimeras? Why are we torturing little beagles and putting these freaking flies on their face so they get their face? Why? And that's what we know about. Now, that's like this much. What we don't know about. Boom. Okay. You're just waking up there, Becky. Oh, you were a conspiracy theorist before. Becky, huh? You weren't really paying attention there, huh? You weren't doing your little due diligence. You just believed everything they told you to believe. And these were evil, sociopathic monsters that were literally torturing, hurting, and doing some of the things that you can't even be capable of imagining just how ruthless, cutthroat, evil, and vile it is. And finally, all of those secrets are coming into the light. Finally, the light is disinfecting all that was evil, all that was wrong, all that was immoral. And we're living in a new day and age where we actually understand what our government is doing with our own damn money. Donald Trump now also promising to eliminate taxes. Yes, thank goodness we need that relief. The American economy needs that relief. The people that have preyed on us for far too long and have been able to do the most evil, awful things. There's going to be things that people are going to find out related to Satanism that they were participating in, that they paid for, part of these larger programs. I'll get into more of it. I'm gonna do more videos for LukeUnfiltered.com, just going even crazier down the rabbit hole. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys watching, subscribing, clicking the notification button. We're going to have way more videos. We're going to probably be live for that press conference for Pat Bondi, Trump, and Elon Musk. Stay tuned for that and a lot more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange. Click the notification button. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more.